Hi everybody, welcome back. In this video I want to talk to you about the 7 things that they don't teach you in design school. Now, it's been a while since I've been in design school, but I've hired hundreds of designers through my career, and I have noticed that as they come as new employees to the workplace, there are a lot of things they're lacking right out of design school. And I wanted to talk to you about a few of those things because you really have to take it upon yourself to focus and learn and get up to speed on these things, or pay really close attention as you start off your career, whether you have your own agency or freelance business, or whether you work for an agency. You want to pay attention to these things so you can really get up to speed on them quickly. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Number 1 is time management. I took a poll of my email subscribers recently and asked them what was the one thing they were struggling with the most. And the answer that came back resoundingly was time management. Number 2, a close number 2, was getting new clients. But number 1 was time management. People are time starved. The business world moves incredibly quickly. People's personal lives are incredibly full. How to balance your time in your workday between tasks, and there are so many tasks when you are a designer, between business development and networking and getting clients and actually doing the work and scheduling your time and billing and invoices and supplies and all that sort of stuff. Balancing your time between those things is very difficult, and it takes practice, but there are a lot of tools that can really help you with it. There's also balancing your personal life and your work life. That also is a real struggle for a lot of people who are freelancers. It's also sometimes very difficult for people who work for corporations or agencies because as a designer in those fields, sometimes the hours are very long, and how you balance your time between work and what you have to do for work, and then sometimes that flows into your time at home, and your personal life is sometimes a struggle. Some of the tools that can help you with this are apps like Calendly or Basecamp, or Toggle, which is a time tracking tool, or Google Calendar, Reverb, Trello, Zoho projects. The list goes on and on. Explore some of these applications and see which one works for you. There's way too much functionality and way too many apps for me to go into it in this short video. But check that out, because using those tools can really help you get a handle on your time. Number 2 is finances. Finances are probably the most important thing when it comes to running your own business. If it's a freelance business, or if you're working in an agency or corporate environment, you have to understand the finances of that agency or that corporation, where their money comes from, how you fit into that budget, what you offer the company or agency, and what your value is. Learning finances is incredibly important. Things like billing and managing your time and the profitability of your time on jobs, budgeting, expenses, billing, invoices, how to collect payment, how to take credit cards, how to balance a checkbook. You may know how to balance a checkbook going into school, but a lot of people come out of school with very little idea of how to manage finances for a business, or even in some cases, their personal finances. There are a lot of applications that can help you with this, things like FreshBooks or QuickBooks. I personally use Xero, which is Xero. You need to take charge of learning about managing finances and how to read a balance sheet, how to lay out a budget for your business. You need to know how to manage money, how to manage your rent, your supplies, the cost of your tech, your software, the hardware that you use, the software as services that you use. All of these things fall into the bucket of finances. So you really want to take it upon yourself to self-educate about how to deal with money. Number 3 is how to get a job as a graphic designer. It's amazing how little time and energy in design school that they put into teaching you interviewing skills, or how to present yourself, or how to communicate, or how to sell yourself in an interview. I did a great video on interviewing skills, and you should definitely check that out. Presentation skills are also a really important aspect of getting a job as a graphic designer. Presentation, you're the presenting of your own work to whoever it is that's interviewing you. Also, you have to buff up your skills in being charming, and your communication skills and how you communicate. That's incredibly important when it comes to getting a job as a designer. The other things they don't teach you are how to find out where the design jobs are, or how to locate the types of agencies that you want to work for. Your work does not speak for itself. You can't just walk into an interview and plop down your portfolio on the table and expect them to fall in love with you. You have to work at learning how to present yourself, how to communicate, how to sell yourself in to getting that job. And then you also have to learn how to find out where those jobs are, where the agencies are, where the companies are, the types of companies and agencies that you want to work for, and what kind of jobs they have available. How to do that kind of research. That's one of the things that they don't teach you in design school. Now, number 4 is marketing, promoting, and branding yourself. At design school, they teach you how to build a portfolio. They may even teach you how to post that on a website online. But when it comes down to teaching you about content marketing or inbound marketing or advertising yourself or networking or how to actually promote what you do so clients, prospective clients will see it, or companies or agencies that might hire you will see it. How to establish a personal brand presence out there in the marketplace, what social media platforms to be on, what you should actually be doing there when you're engaging on those platforms, how to network. You need to know how to sell yourself as a freelancer or sell yourself internally if you work inside a company or agency. You need to know how to promote yourself and how to advocate for your own growth. And this leads me to number 5, which is navigating the work environment, which is a really important skill. And they don't teach you that in design school. It's a very kind of difficult thing to teach because on one hand, you really have to be in it and experience it to kind of learn those tools about how to navigate in a work environment. But if you get a great mentor, or even a mentor in school or a mentor out of school, or join a mastermind group, you can really get a lot of input and a lot of insight and a lot of schooling in how to navigate in a work environment. You have to learn how to network internally and work with internal politics, working with your manager, what I call managing up. So that is, how do you manage your superiors or engage with your superiors so you can get them to advocate for you or to advance your career as you have aspirations to move up. You can also engage in what I call skip level management, which is influencing and getting to know and networking with the people who are above your immediate supervisor. Those are the sorts of people who are going to advocate for your promotion. Because eventually, when you want to get promoted, your manager, your direct manager, is going to take it to those people, and they are going to say yay or nay whether you should be promoted or not. So you want to become visible to those people, and you want to start establishing a relationship with them. So when the time comes and you are up for promotion, they're going to know who you are and they're going to support you. Another thing you want to pay attention to is cross-divisional interactions. So you may be in design or in the design division, but there's accounting and there's finance and there's legal and there's production. There's a bunch of different divisional areas of the company or agency that you work in that you want to make sure that you learn how to communicate to. You want to learn what they do. You want to learn what the value is that you're bringing to the table that they need, or what influences what they do. Those are the sorts of things of navigating a work environment that you want to learn about. Number 6 is a really important one, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, and that is how to get clients. So where do you find clients? How do you find the companies and individuals that are the right size or have the right level of revenue, that are companies that are going to need your services and then also be able to afford your services? You have to learn the language of business. You have to learn about sales and marketing and customers and profitability and retail and wholesale and B2B and B2C. You have to learn how to speak the language of your clients. You need to learn how to describe the value of the work that you do, how your work is going to benefit the client's business. You have to know how to quantify the value of the design work that you're providing and what that effect is going to be monetarily on their business. It's a difficult thing to do, but it's something that you can learn, and I've done videos on that as well. And lastly, number 7, and this is a really important one, is how to build partnerships and relationships. Relationships inside a company or agency, if you work in one of those, is important, and that is the power of networking. So getting to know and building relationships with people not only in the design division, but also in the other divisions of the company, finance, accounting, etc., like I mentioned before. You also want to know how to build relationships with your coworkers, because this is what happens. You work in an environment for a period of time, and then coworkers may go to other jobs, or people in other divisions may move on in their careers to other jobs. These relationships and the people that you know are the people that are going to be the springboards to getting you your next job in the next agency or the next company that you work for. You want to connect with those people on LinkedIn, and you want to stay in touch with them, because that network from the very beginning and as you grow it over time is what is going to be the engine that drives your career to the next level. You have to think long term. So pay attention to building relationships and getting to know people inside of the companies and agencies that you work for. You also want to build relationships with your clients if you are fortunate enough to have visibility and connection with the clients in the agencies or companies that you work for. You want to push to get exposure to those clients, and then if you do, you want to get to know them. You want them to like you. You want to, pay attention to what their needs are, because those clients are going to, yet again, move to other companies. And so your network is going to expand over time in terms of the number of potential clients that you have. You may be working with just one client at one company for a period of time in an agency, but then some team members in that client's world are going to move on to other companies. So then immediately your network expands. So you want to pay attention to building relationships and building partnerships. And you also want to build partnerships with other designers, and people have skill sets outside of your skill set. You're a designer, but you want to build relationships and get to know people who are copywriters, and people who are photographers, and people who are strategists, and people who are animators and filmmakers. Those are sorts of partners that down the road, if you eventually go out on your own, or even if you're working in an agency, you're going to want to have network partners like that in your pocket, so you can hire them as freelancers. You can bring them in on jobs where the need of the job is larger than your particular skill set. So building those sorts of partnerships is also going to benefit you over time, and that's one of the key things that they talk very little about in design school. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video on 7 things they don't teach you in design school. And if you did, please hit subscribe below so you can see my videos when they come out. And from Verhaal Brand Design, my strategic branding and design agency, thank you so much for watching. And if you need help building your brand, building your company, or even building your professional creative career, reach out to me at philipvandusen.com, and let's see what we can do to take you to the next level. Okay, so thanks a lot. See you next time.